to attend, but development team is necessary. Okay, it's fine.
Yes, necessarily, yeah.
Uma, the Scrum team includes everybody, right?
Yes, Scrum team includes everybody.
Yeah, then why it is?
But then why it is wrong?
No. See, who should necessarily attend the daily stand-up meeting? The Scrum team includes product owner, Scrum Master, and the development team. But a product owner and a Scrum Master, those may not be a mandatory person to attend that call.
So the development team is includes testers as well.
When we say the development team, it's not only development. I mean, in the Scrum team, development team, they could be DevOps, testing, anyone who works on this a specific sprint or the user story.
But you said that product owner and Scrum Master can be as a listeners.
Yeah, can be. That's what. Who should necessarily attend.
Okay.
If the word necessarily is not there, we can't have a team, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not like a mandatory, right? On the need basis only they will attend.
Yeah, mandatory is development team. Okay.
What activities are a part of a product backlog refinement? Let me see. Yeah, estimate the product backlog items, brainstorming on the product backlog, and ordering of the product backlog. So these three are correct. We'll discuss on these three items in the product backlog refinement. Okay, except definition of that. Okay, which of the following activity is not time boxed? Good. Who selected sprint?
Myself, Uma.
Okay. Sprint retrospective again. It's like a 3 hours. A time box event for a 1 month sprint.
No, but product backlog refinement comes under sprint planning, right?
No.
That is totally different. It is.
Yes.
This means the backlog grooming, is it?
Yeah. Product backlog refinement or grooming. Both are the same. Same term. Different terminology, but it happens in the same way.
I'm also having that doubt on sprint retrospective because I also think that option because we can have the discussion on how it went, right? So I thought there is no time limit for that.
Oh no.
No, last class she mentioned actually.
Yeah. I have clearly explained like a 4 time box events. Even you can consider a 5 time box events. Sprint is also one. Yeah. Okay. Sprint
but
plan.
I selected the correct option only, but I think little doubt on that.
Yeah. That confusions will be there always when see this is the just test. We are assessing our knowledge.
Yes. Yeah. It's fine.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
Yeah, once again we'll get a chance to discuss because during a class we may have like a different assumptions and understanding would be different. But when we write the test, okay, we'll get to know, oh, okay, my understanding might be wrong. So now you can easily able to, point out, okay, which would be the correct and which is not. Okay.
Yeah.
Next. What are the 3 pillars of empirical process control? Fantastic. for what type of work Scrum is most suitable? Who selected? Simple.
Myself.
Okay. Yeah. It's if you see like I see like new member join. Vitali is like are you able to play the game? Do you have the ID, or can I share the ID with you? It's already available in the chat, but I'm not sure if you have seen that.
I have, but I come a little bit late because I forgot
That's
totally.
okay. You can join from here, right? Maybe, yeah. We'll just wait for a minute. You start. Join into Kahoot.it. I once again I'll ping you in the chat.
There is not a pin.
Sorry.
There is not pin I can enter.
Pin, yes, it's there. Pin.
Yes,
I shared
now
you.
I see it.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, what we were discussing, for what type of a work Scrum is most suitable? As we mentioned, the Scrum basically, defines it is suitable for a complex, sustainable development environments. For a simple, you can go fantastically with the traditional model, because the simple doesn't have any huge requirements, that there will be no great changes occurs frequently. For that reason only, the complex is the best suitable for this Scrum.
Why not complicated? Both are same, right? Complex or complicated.
Complicated is something like a different. Although like the both sounds similar, this is a complex environment and complex development teams. The complicated means it's like a easy and a complicated such kind of things. Nothing
Yeah.
more than that. If you see the Scrum guide, exactly what it talks, complex.
Complex. Okay.
Yeah, I can see Vital is also now fine. Scrum is based on what? Good. Empirism and lean is the correct answer. I see like two other people selected. Okay, defined process control and empirical process control. If you see, we always mention there is no defined process control. The Scrum is very flexible. The day one onwards, I've been telling, it's very flexible framework. You can modify whatever. This is, it's not a defined process, although it is empirical process control. And it based on
what do you mean by lean?
Yeah, even if you see, it does, the Scrum comes from a both lean, eliminating
Removing waste.
The major concept of the lean is the eliminating waste.
Okay.
Yeah. Which of the following is a valid set of Scrum values? Super. I don't know like why, the fourth option is being selected. We don't have a trust actually in this. We have like a focus, openness, respect, commitment, and courage. Okay. Actually, to read this question completely, it was missed actually. Developers, minute. They are also saying openly to others that they don't know something. So that is what they're expecting here. Somehow, yeah, the full question was not printed here. Yes, it's a courage is the correct, because as I mentioned, they're also saying openly to others that they don't know something. Other than openness, it's a courage. Okay. What is the definition of increment? Thinking? Definition of increment or product increment. One of the Scrum artifacts. It's sum of all product backlog items completed at any point during a sprint. It's not all user stories, because when we say the definition of increment, we're not like giving all user stories. And the product backlog, a product backlog is entirely different from an increment, because a product backlog is a bigger set. It is a complete product vision, but the increment we are giving required or high valued customer business goal as a part of an increment only. So even product backlog items completed during this sprint only. These two are similar, but if you see sum of all product backlogs, this is with respect to one sprint. The fourth answer is with respect to one sprint. But if you are going a sprint by sprint, if you are at the 10th sprint, then the 10th sprint increment is based on what you have delivered previously 9 sprints of increment plus 10th sprint goal. That is the reason it is a sum of all product backlog items completed at any point during a sprint. Okay, we'll go to next question. If there are multiple Scrum teams working on the system or product release, who will define the done for the product? This is nothing but definition of done, DOD. Product owner. I see like a majority folks selected product owner. No, it's not, because user story only will be defined by a product owner. Okay, and the respective acceptance criteria. But when it comes to the definition of it done, the development team, because the development team will decide among by themselves and what need to be done for this. As we mentioned, like a code reviews or code implementation, UI test, all these comes under the definition of a done. And since we have a multiple Scrum teams, so different Dev teams sit together and they will share their knowledge and mutually they'll come up with the definition of a done. Okay, we'll go to next. Why can the sprint can be cancelled? I don't know, like the second answer, why it is not correct. the sprint team is not capable of delivering the sprint. In this case, we will not cancel the sprint. We will learn from the failure. Okay, in that case, if we are not able to deliver, that's fine. Why we have not delivered, whether we can able to move these items to the next sprint, that will be discussed in the sprint retrospective. But once the sprint goal becomes obsolete, maybe due to various reasons, I mean that the technology may not be handling in a way what the customer is expected, and our customer wanted to. I mean, customer does not wanted to consider the requirements in that case. So it's a whole, responsibility or authority comes from the product owner. But when that decision to be taken by the product owner is whenever there is a goal to be obsolete, or this is not required, this is not really, meeting, or this is kind of little old, then only the sprint can be cancelled. And this is very rare case it happens. Okay. Who has the authority to cancelling the sprint? I think in the last question itself, I gave the answer. Oh, still I see Scrum Master. One person selected as Scrum Master. Remember, guys?
Sorry, in a hurry, I made it.
No problem, no problem. So remember, yeah, Scrum Master is always a servant leader, and who brings the Scrum expertise, Scrum principles, Scrum values in the Scrum team. But he's not authorized, or he's not a manager role, or he will not, insist certain things to do in this way. Or he don't have like authority to cancel, or authority to do an estimation, or authority to assign the work. He's not like a manager role. It is only with respect to process only he will handle. So always, the sprint, because the product owner is the owner and responsible for a product backlog or a sprint backlog. So he is the only person who is having an authority to cancel the sprint based on, if a sprint or the user story becomes obsolete, or the sprint goal becomes obsolete. Okay. We'll go to next question. Sprint goal is created during what sprint ceremony? Fantastic. Which of the following gives the maximum benefit in terms of a building stakeholder confidence? Cool. Which of the following is not an essential attribute of a Scrum team? Essential attribute. Yes, co-located is not really an essential. The self-managing is very essential, because the Scrum always talks about the team should be self-managing, a cross-functional, and always a potential shippable product to be delivered. So one is the wrong answer. What is the long-term objective for the Scrum team? They must fulfill one objective before taking on the next. It's long-term objective. See, definition of a done. Definition of a done is not a long-term objective. The sprint goal is also long-term, because the sprint goal is objective with respect to that sprint. But when you
Yes.
see the product goal, it's a long-term objective. It's a one kind of a release. Maybe in a 10 sprints or in a certain n number of sprints, you will able to deliver that objective. So the
But it
product
meant,
goal is a long-term objective.
yeah, it mentioned that they must fulfill one objective before taking on next. I thought it's next sprint like that. So it's
Oh, okay, okay. That's the reason. I mean, I'm like reading again. If you see, I mean, I know like a certain questions would confuse the people, right? So the keyword I'm
as well.
stressing long-term
Yeah, yeah,
objective.
yeah, I got it now.
If a team is looking for a quick time to market, what would be the basis of prioritizing features? None of the above. Yeah, both of the above is correct because we need both. I mean, how many number of features is required and ultimately the completeness of the features. Both are required for a quick time to market. Okay, let's move to next question. What is the relationship between a product backlog and the sprint backlog? Wow, super. Who is the person responsible for tracking and updating the Scrum boards? Developers. Again, see, whenever like a tracking and updating, okay, it's a developers. Stakeholder, no, they're not at all responsible because tracking and updating, they don't bother. They just need like a where we are standing, that's it. And what else I see? Oh, product owner. No, not at all. Product owner always talks about how the feature should look like, how the user stories to be delivered, but he's not a responsible. He will see the status or he will check the progress where I mean the team is standing at this moment or maybe down the line 1 month. He will forecast, but he is not at all responsible for tracking, neither for updating. And the Scrum Master ensures who is doing like for a tracking and updating. If a Scrum Master notices a person from the development team is not updating the statuses correctly, then he ensures that he will informs to the development team. He helps how they can update regularly. Again, he is not responsible. Okay. Okay then. The Scrum Master. Mm, okay, he is a Scrum team Scrum expert. I see like creates refinements and communicates customer requirements. No, he never creates any refinements. He is only facilitator. Okay, and controls the priority order of items in the team's backlog. No, never. Because he is not the person who controls. He is not at all an authorized person. He's always a gateway between the development team and the product owner and the external team. He removes the impediments. He helps the team how they will become a self-organizing and the self-managing. And if he notices any Scrum values are not inculcating in the team, maybe in the follow-up ceremonies or wherever the possible, he will try to explain the using of Scrum principles, but he never have authority on the product or on the user stories. Okay, I think the last question for today's quiz. What does the product owner do during a sprint? Yes, he always clarifies the requirements and answers questions. He never protects the team and the process. This job usually done by a Scrum Master. Who protects the team and the process? Scrum Master. It's not a product owner job. And intervenes when required to make sure the pace of a work is sustainable. No, he not intervenes because the developer is supposed to manage their pace of the work. Even, I mean, if they're not doing all this, Scrum Master help them to do. Even directly he will not do anything, Scrum Master will not do anything, but he helps the team. For example, if they see any velocity drastically reducing from a sprint by sprint, so they discusses what kind of a problems they're facing or what kind of a challenges they're facing, but product owner never interferes their work, and he is not the responsible to make sure the pace of work is sustainable, or whether I mean it is going in a different velocities. It's fine. Okay, now we will see Madhvi, third position. Diya, Katika. Oh, good job, guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, Vitalis, I know
Congrats,
since you
Kartika.
joined.
Thank you.
A little late, yeah. So, but still, I think you have like done a good job, guys, because I know, like, I mean, many of the guys during the start of the sessions, lots of confusions will be there, and understanding of the agile, it is a more of like a theoretical and the process is right. So it takes some time to understand the concepts, but still, it's very fantastic job. I mean, I can see like. You guys could able to understand the concepts in a right way. Yeah, although like a few yeah mistakes would happen, that's will be there, and nothing wrong in that, as we are in the agile session learning from the failure. So yeah.
And because of this now we will see concentrate how quick or we can
Yeah. If we have time, we could have it in correct way.
Sometimes we feel like we have to give fast.
Some hurry make
Yeah.
to
Yeah, the
select wrong
time
answers.
management, we have a given 1 minute time actually.
Mm. But yeah, as soon as we are selecting the options, we are getting points, no? Because
Yeah,
of
that's
having
even
that in
that I
mind.
realized lately. That as soon as
Yeah,
we
yeah,
get
that will be there. But what happens, actually these kind of a quizzes will help you to write your even. I mean, if you wanted to become a certified Scrum Master or professional Scrum Master, maybe if you, I mean, some of the people wanted to go in that a career path also as a Scrum Master.
Yeah.
Not only like, I mean, the CSM and the PSM certifications are only for the Scrum Masters, even for the developer, development teams, the product owner, for everyone, I mean, the certification would get benefits, and it is very helpful. So these kind of quizzes would help you if you are willing to write the CSM or a PSM, guys. Okay,
Yeah.
especially PSM it's very time management. I mean, hardly you will get a not even 1 minute, I guess. 45
Yeah.
seconds to 1 minute time only we will get it. So
Okay.
overall, I mean, how do you feel about the, I mean, what I'd say, like exam?